As If I Am Not There is a story of a young schoolteacher from Sarajevo, Samira, whose life is shattered the day a Serbian soldier walks into her apartment and orders her to pack her things. Shortly after the onset of the Bosnian War, her village is invaded by the Serbian army. The men are executed, and the women are rounded up and cast into servitude. Imprisoned in a warehouse in a remote region of Bosnia with the other women from the village, Samira quickly learns the rules of camp life. Do not think of life on the outside. Do not think about the past or the future. Do not worry about other people. Do not stand out. Keep your mind occupied, and above all, do not believe the rumors you hear. The day she is picked out to entertain the soldiers, the real nightmare begins. In a cruel and barbaric environment run by an army without a moral compass, Samira's beauty is her curse. With nothing left and facing the constant threat of death, she struggles against the hatred she sees all around her. In a final act of courage, she decides to make one last stand. To defy her captors by putting on makeup and letting her beauty shine. Not for them, she explains, but for me. This simple act saves her life when a kind-hearted Serbian army officer takes an interest in her, and her situation gradually starts to improve. The captain, as he comes to be known, shields Samira from his soldiers and serves as a symbol of refuge, a ray of light in a dark world. She soon realizes that surviving means more than staying alive, and finds the strength to endure violent displacement, sexual assault, and the hatred around her. Although difficult to watch, As If I Am Not There is a harrowing war story in which new director Juanita Wilson ensures that the film speaks intelligently and powerfully about wartime behavior and the plight of women in a manner that encompasses much more than any single individual. This film is especially impressive given the fact that the role of director and lead actress are filled by individuals to whose feature film debuts are this picture. The film is based on a 1999 novel by the Croatian Slavenka Drakulić, I Am Not There, ed. Belford, 2002. Hello movie lovers. How are you all? Today I am going to explain a 2010 war drama movie called, As If I Am Not There. Sit back and enjoy this video. In the beginning of the movie that we can see a fresh and organized city, where lives a happy family. Two sister or kidding father and mother are happy faces. In the next scene, we see a girl getting ready to go somewhere. And her parents bid him farewell. Here we show our movie's main protagonist Samira and her family. Then she leaves for his destination. Then it begins. Seeing the natural scene by the road, in the meantime an aged man sitting beside her with a smile, and sometime later he was getting into a sleep. That was a funny time. She ends his journey and reaches her destination. After getting off the bus, she asks someone about the school and shows him around. Crouching inside the school, she looked around and sat down. Then she went to his room. In the road she meets a old woman whose face was smelly. After that she reached her room and checked that everything was fine. Then she sight her bed. In the next day, Samira comes to the school and introduces herself to the kids. But the kids don't pay any attention to her, and after a while, they laugh. In the next scene, we see him calling his family. But maybe some network issue, the call wasn't delivered properly. What you think why she can't reach them with telephone? Let me explain. In that time there was a connection problem for the war between two countries. Now next part we can see. Samira, she climbed to the top of the hill with the children and enjoyed the distant scenery. And after that at night Samira wrote a letter to her parents and saw their photos. Then she saw through the window some people leaving this village with the family. Two child was looking. The next day, Samira wakes up hearing noises outside, and she sees from the window that the soldiers are taking them from their house. Then a soldier enters her room and asks about where she is from and why she came here. In the meantime she offered a cup of coffee. After that, he took Samira out. Everyone is running, and lastly, all are putting inside a building. One of the soldiers was seen coming and he gave some directions. He was the commander of that team. Then he told everyone to make a separation between men and women. They were forced to leave their child. After separating, the men were killed by others. Due to this everyone is shocked. Frustration was at work in everyone and they were nervous. And then all around became desolate. They were then taken by bus to the military camp. Everyone was very nervous, but they didn't know where they were going. Everyone's eyes are filled with sadness and grief. After being taken there, they are again taken into a dark room and kept there. The next morning everyone was taken out by the soldiers. Then asked them to stand and doing some work, and Samira looking around. After that, some food was given to him by the soldier. An old woman among them fell ill. She informed the nurse. In the next scene, we see the soldiers coming. And in the night the sound of some women being taken away is heard. The next morning while doing laundry, Samira notices the soldiers taking some of the girls to a separate room. She then moves and spends time with others and sees the art of a little girl. Some time later, meanwhile Samira is called by a soldier. Then he was taken to another room. After some time 3 commanders came to the room drinking wine and asked Samira to undress. She was so nervous and couldn't say anything, just froze up his body. Then started raping her several times, which was very painful. After that she became senseless. She is then seen lying sick in bed with a sign of torture on his face. Suddenly an old woman is seen bringing food. After that Samira is seen with a gloomy face in the mirror. In the next scene, 3 soldiers are seen coming and the little girl is raped and sent away. They talk to each other so that they won't get out of there easily. Then Samira was raped again. Samira and the little girl were reading the book. They thought someone was coming and took the little girl away again. After a while the little girl was sent away in a tragic state and called nurse. After that Samira read a storybook for the little girl. Again an old woman came with food. Then we saw Samira inspire all the girls that they aren't animals. Then we see girls are disappointed in this situation. What you think about this situation? In my opinion here girls are used like a product in this type of practice. Sometime later we can see Samira meet the captain of the camp. She was so nervous. Captain offers Samira a cigarette, talks like Samira and invites him for dinner. After finishing dinner captain starts a romance with Samira. After that, she came back to his room and all of the girls were very curious. In the night captain again calls Samira to come and the captain tells Samira to get fresh and bathe. After that captain told Samira to touch his body. In the morning Samira took some food from the captain's house for his campmates. The battles are everywhere and there is chaos all around. In the night Samira again goes to the captain's house and Samira makes coffee, but the captain says to leave it because he is tense for the war. In the night 2 soldier comes to the captain's house and the captain goes away. In the meantime, Samira tried to call her family but the line was not answered. The capital killed someone outside the house and came back home and said something about the struggle of life with Samira. He was angry and then said Samira leave the place. Next scene we can see soldiers getting ready for war and war starts everywhere. After that, we can see the nurse die and also the little girl. For the unstable situation, all were being sent back to where they were brought from. Everyone was heading towards the bus but Samira was stopped by a soldier and asked to meet the captain, and Samira met with the captain and asked about their destinations and the captain said that. After that, we can see some emotion in both of them. Then Samira got outside from the captain's room and woke up for the bus. The captain called him from behind and handed back the bag he had come. And finally, they were released. They saw all are distorted. After that they got off the bus and started walking. After meeting everyone, everyone started walking towards each other. After a while, they find their way home from the top of the hill and everyone runs away. In the last part of the movie, we can see Samira meet with doctors because she is pregnant. He comes out of the doctor's room, and he was indecisive as to what to do. Then we can see that continuing her pregnancy and watching TV, she also enjoyed the children playing in the snow outside the house. After that, the time came for birth, which was so painful situation for him. Finally she birthed to a child. After that, she takes a bath and meets with his baby from the adopted room. Then she put some pictures of his childhood with her family beside the baby. She can't accept, but finally, she takes the baby in his arms and feeding. When the baby was feeding, she showed her emotion and cried. That shows the symbol of her pure love. This beautiful movie ends here. What you think about this movie? Is it a war movie or a romantic emotional movie? In my opinion, it is a great historical film of the violations committed against women in the name of war. I was so moved by this movie and applaud the director for a script well executed. It gives us great insight as to how deeply the scars of the war penetrated the Bosnian women and the young girl child. Healing will come with time, but the atrocities committed against these people must never be forgotten. The beautiful movie ends here. How was the movie? Drop your opinion in the comment box. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know which movie's explanation you want to watch in comment. Make sure subscribe for next videos and press bell icon for update. Till then, goodbye.